Most likely, there'll be a time when you have a singer that sings some chromatic tones that are intentionally outside the key of the song. These are often called blue notes, and they're typically minor intervals where you'd normally expect a major interval, and they're used for expressive purposes. So when you add pitch correction to a bluesy vocal with no regard for these blue notes, you end up with a pitch-corrected vocal that's in tune, but it can be kind of stale sounding.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
So I've got my scale set to E natural minor, and you'll notice that when you select a scale, these little pink dashes appear up here on the keyboard. And these are only appearing on notes that are not in the scale. So the key of E minor, or the E minor scale, is E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and then E. So all of the notes outside of E minor have this marking. So this pink dash means that these are illegal notes, meaning that the output should be tuned to the nearest legal note, which are designated by the gray markings. So note that all of the notes within the key of E minor have that gray marking above them because they're legal notes. They can be tuned. If you click on these, you'll see that there's also a designation for illegal note pitch up, which corrects to the nearest legal note above this note. There's also illegal note pitch down, which corrects downward. And if I click again, there's an X symbol. This bypasses the tuning on the note, meaning that it's a legal note, but no pitch correction will be applied to it. So in this example, there's a few spots where there are some blue notes.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
So the pitch correction is more or less correct, but it's making her vocal a bit stale. Listen it again and listen for the tail end of the phrase where she jumps from A up to B.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
On that word lasting, what she actually sang in the original recording was lasting. It's like a half-step movement up to B flat, but the pitch correction is pitching it up to B natural. So I'll bypass the B flat, and that note will no longer get tuned.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
So we get that nice blue note on B flat in there. I think I'll bypass the E flat as well.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
And on the note F here, I'm going to set this to a legal note pitch down to push any notes on F down to the tonic note of E.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
Yeah, that's much more natural sounding. And if you want to make it even more natural sounding, you can try pulling down the correction amount. And what this will do is it'll apply less than 100% tuning to each note. So here I'm at 61%. So notes that are pitch corrected will only be corrected by 61% rather than fully pitch shifted.
I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
So that leaves more room for the natural inflection of her voice and some of the natural variation in her voice to come through. Auto-Tune also has a similar functionality built into it, albeit a bit simpler. So first click here to show the advanced view, and then you'll see all 7 notes of the scale down here. Because I chose E minor as my key and scale, you'll only see these 7 notes down here because it's only going to use those 7 notes to tune. So what I'm going to do is remember those notes, then go up here and change the scale to chromatic, and now you'll see all 12 notes down here. So first I'll remove the notes that are not in the key of E minor. So that's F, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. Next, I'll bypass the blue notes that I don't want tuned at all. So these were B flat or A sharp and E flat or D sharp.
I'm gasping on distraction. I didn't think it'd be this lasting.
Yeah, that sounds pretty natural, and bypassing the B flat and E flat is taking care of those blue notes. Even Logic's included pitch correction plugin has a similar functionality. You can click on any of the notes to make them active or inactive for tuning. Here I'm still in E minor, and then you can bypass notes that you don't want to be pitch corrected. For notes that you bypass, you actually want to make sure that you make these active as well. They won't be tuned with the bypass turned on, but they'll be skipped over completely if you make them inactive.
I didn't think it'd be